1914, World War I broke out. So maybe a couple of weeks into the war, Russia invaded and took over the village and burned it down. So almost immediately they became refugees. My name is Saul Lindenbaum. I live in Baltimore County. I'm a retired psychologist. Sam Lindenbaum was my father, and I think the first thing I have to mention is that his name was not actually Sam. He came to America with a Polish name, Ozias, and it wasn't until he was in his 50s that he went to court and had his name legally changed to Samuel. He came from Eastern Europe in a little town called Ustya-Biskupia, which was a farming community in southeastern Poland. He got to America on August the 5th, 1920. He had been living through the war with his mother and his sister. His father was in America, his older brother was in America, and they were cut off by the war. They were living under occupation of the Russians, and his mother died in 1919. His father found them. He didn't know where they were, but he located them, and he sent them tickets. I believe that it was late in June when they left their village on a cart with a horse and went to a larger town nearby where there was a railroad station. And then they took the railroad train to the city of Lvov, it was called then. Now it's Lviv in Ukraine. And they went on from there to Warsaw. And from Warsaw they went to Vienna. And from Vienna they went to Switzerland, to the city of Basel. From Paris they got to Boulogne, and in Boulogne they were swindled out of their tickets. Now they had second-class tickets, which meant a cabin above decks, but somebody convinced them to come to America sooner, that he had tickets, and he switched the tickets with them. The problem was, there were a couple of problems. One was that he gave them third-class tickets, which meant they slept below decks in steerage, and where they were both very seasick from the whole voyage. But finally, they got to America on August the 4th, 1920. When they got there, they were separated from the other passengers and from each other and sent to special dormitories. My father had no idea what was going on. He had a sty on his eye, and he thought that meant they were going to send him back to Europe. He was terrified. Well, it turned out that the problem was that because they switched tickets, they arrived on a ship like 2 days sooner than they were supposed to, so their father didn't know to come pick them up. He was expecting them later. The people at Ellis Island sent a telegram, I think, to my grandfather, and he did come for them the next day. And so on August 5th, they actually went from Ellis Island on the ferry, and they landed in Manhattan. That's how he got to America.